When Charles and I got married 25 years ago, he weighed 300 pounds. Now he weighs 205, and I despise it. Just last week, a buddy welcomed us at a party with "Hi Laura," and "Charles, wow, you look fantastic. How did you lose so much weight?" While my once fettuccine Alfredo loving husband proselytized about portion control and barbell squats, I slinked off to find a drink for my lovely Mignon Blanc. I remember Charles and me devouring enormous eclairs on the way to buy a treadmill. So after reading that part of the article, which I'm also linking in the description below, it's obvious that Laura's jealous of all the positive attention that Charles is getting when the two of them go in public. People are giving him high fives while brushing her aside, and the article she mentions them when they met he was fatter than her and she wanted a man whose girt would quell her insecurities. Well, at least she's admitting that she has it. Everything seems to come down to sexual marketplace value with us humans in our relationships. In my first adult relationship, my ex tried fattening me up and told me to get an unattractive haircut to lower my values so other women wouldn't swoop in and try to take me. Women are territorial like this and want to be the ones people pay attention to in a relationship from the outside, yet it's us men who are portrayed as the jealous ones. Laura says she was the one who pushed him to slim down before she asked him to go to the gym with her. He started counting calories and she started freaking out. She says, "Yes, it is affecting me." Last night at dinner, our waiter asked about dessert. Before I could respond, Charles patted his now flat stomach and said, "None for me." Unquote. Charles may be expressing that he's fuller and doesn't want to gain weight, but Laura sees him patting his flat stomach as triggering and an insult. She could easily see him doing that to mock her, which is how many women feel. What I find interesting about this piece, and why I believe it was written, was to shame Charles to loosen up and gain some weight back because he's too thin. It's making her insecure, but why? After all, she's the author of Big Butts, Fat Thighs, and Other Secrets to Success. Could it be that she's terrified of the tiny man? She's got everything she needs to be successful, and yet she's insecure. I think this new crisis with skinny Charles was created because Charles was too fat and he was going to have a heart attack and you would lose your plow horse, so instead of allowing this to happen, you pushed him to exercise. He took his health too seriously, and now you're paying the emotional price. But the thing is, you don't hear about guys complaining about their wives when they get in shape. You don't typically hear him complain about age. Most guys enjoy it, but they don't realize that many women lose weight before trying a monkey branch to a better man. She doesn't want to break up with you until she's able to string along the next guy. Guys don't think like that yet because all the postmodern fat acceptance gender studies professors say men and women are the same. So women obviously think that men. Do you actually think that way? When a woman increases her marketplace value, men are recalculating their options. Most guys have no idea since they're drooling over her new cleavage like a British bulge. Laura probably sees this as her husband's ultimate betrayal because of her fat empowerment book, Key. Imagine what people are saying behind her back. She's empowered in fat, but if fat is so empowering, then why did Mr. Tubby choose to lose all that weight and leave Laura hanging high and dry? She wrote this article for a number of reasons, mostly damage control on her book and her whole fat empowerment thing, but also because she wanted to make a point. Men aren't supposed to have feelings or think unless a woman tells us to or when they run our work. I've had at least half a dozen guys request topics about how their girlfriends or wives lost a ton of weight and then dumped them for Chatter Tyrone, and sometimes both. But can you imagine the potential backlash if a man wrote an article about his wife losing a ton of weight and then running off with another dude? People would laugh at him and criticize him and say, well, you should have lost some weight too, or you should have been more patient. She can't control other women if they start throwing themselves at him, but if she makes sure he's not a juicy target, she can thin the herd, no pun intended. She's played a numbers game with her marriage. She dubbed him a burly bear. Why not call him a heart attack hottie? When women marry a man, they want him to change over and over again. Most of the time, he doesn't even know how or why he's being changed. When he changes too much in one direction, the woman he's with has to find a way to change him back without him realizing it. Charles' shaming language returns Laura throws his way in this article. She's probably hoping that the next time they meet friends at a party, they will mention her article instead of mentioning all the weight Charles lost and how fabulous he looks. Who knows, they might even shame him to put on weight so Laura doesn't have to get him to gain it back. Charles will soon be back to his sloth-like, roly-puffed self. Women always change the man and pretend to mean well at the same time they want to come off as caring and thoughtful with a good helping hand. Telling you what to do, but you still actually have to do the hard work, and then they take all the credit for it. Notice that Charles only lost weight because she was the one that first encouraged him to do so. She belittles all the hard work he does on the treadmill and his impulse control at the restaurant when he says that he actually wants to keep his stomach flat, all of this kind of behavior. On her part is all about taking credit for him losing the weight in the first place, so people that know them as a couple shouldn't be praising Charles, but they should instead be praising her now, as she gets the accolades from everyone and he gets shoved in the background. Remember that most women want to be the more beautiful ones in the relationship, and while they get together with a guy that's higher marketplace value, they tone him down and take him down a few notches or more, and then she's the higher marketplace, and then they pretty much leave him, and he's wondering what happened. They will then typically say that he changed too much from the man that she met. Meanwhile, she's the one that changed them to begin with. It's really sickening to watch this kind of stuff happen. In the end, the guy's demonized for not being exciting or good enough for the woman, but meanwhile, in the end, she's the one that's not good enough to begin with. I have one friend that gained 60 pounds because his girlfriend wanted him to gain weight. Now he has health problems and rationalizes them to himself by saying that this is what his girlfriend wants from him. Some guys will simply do anything regardless of the outcome, if it's good or bad with regards to health.